Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another manga haul video, and holy shit. My desk is kind of a mess right now. It's even more of a mess than what you can see on screen right now. It's insane how much manga I got this month. These 2 months, excuse me, because this is May and June. We're about to get here in a second. I don't want to spend too much time, because if past manga haul videos where I've had a lot of volumes is any indication, and also the the video where I went through my entire collection, which you can see there's a lot of missing, because they were already on my shelf and I've taken them off for this video. If that's any indication, talking too long will not only hurt my voice, but it'll also make this video way longer than it should be, so we're gonna get straight into this. If you love manga, like I do, you don't even have to buy this much manga to love manga and be a collector, but if you just love manga, period, make sure to press that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you don't miss any upload in the future. Let me move that mic a little bit out of the way. And also, if you're interested, I am reacting to several anime series right now. You can go check that out on my channel. Right now, Gentama, Haikyuu, and Eden Zero. 3 great shows that I'm loving right now. And very recently, I also finished Scissor 7 Season 3, which is hella underrated. Even if you don't come back to watch my reaction to Season 3, please watch Scissor 7. It's on Netflix. It's so good. I also finished Record of Ragnarok very recently. Even though the animation was fluctuated between subpar and alright, I still enjoyed myself. I reacted to the entire series over the course of 3 videos. You can go check that out if you want to. I still enjoyed myself no matter what. And speaking of which, the first thing we're gonna talk about is gonna be also a plug-in to one of my reaction series. Here we've got, you're gonna see, you see a big stack now. Wait till you see there's even more that you can't see. But we're starting off with, excuse me, Gentama. I'm reacting to that series right now. It's an amazing series. I very recently finished recording my reaction episodes 69, 70, 71. I'm pretty far. It's still going to take me a while to get there, but here we've got the cover for Volume 1. Ooh, you can make that look like a little pedestal. Volume 1 of Gentama. It's such an amazing series, and literally why I decided to start it is because I was like, hey, I kind of want to do anime reactions. And at the time I was thinking that, I was like, man, Gintama seems like an odd series. It's so popular that it got a full adaptation, but not many people talk about it. And honestly, they do, because it's such a great series. All the covers look amazing. I love everything about it. Unfortunately, I can't read very much of it. I've already read Volume 1. Volume 1 was great, but obviously I'm missing 2 and 4. I'm also missing Volume 6, obviously, because here's Volume 7. Volume 10. As you can see, I'm missing a few volumes, and that's not because they're out of print, which I'll talk about in a second. They're just out of stock right now on Right Stuff, but they will be coming in eventually, and I'm very excited to get my hands on them. Because unlike a lot of other Viz manga, they're actually matte. They're not very shiny. If you know Viz manga, then you know that they're kind of shiny. Why don't I real quick? They're probably, I hope I don't spoil myself, but the artwork, at least in the beginning, is kind of meh. It's kind of not that good, but I've heard it gets better over time, and either way, the anime is great. Oh, I recognize this character. This was a character from the last 3 episodes I just reacted to, from an amazing 3-episode arc. It was great. Volume 18, and the last one, Volume 19, which, by the way, speaking of reprints, Volume 1 is a reprint from 2020, which means they're still reprinting Gintama manga, which means there's still enough demand to call for reprints. So Viz, why haven't you fucking finished translating Gintama? Please finish it. At the very least, make it all digitally available, and then you'll see that people want physical copies, and then finish printing the series physically. Please, I'm begging you. Next up, let's real quick. Let's get the, you can't even see that. Let's get this out of the way real quick. First things first, let's start with, oh, this is heavy. Oh. It's one of those series that have those weird little flaps on the inside for no reason. But let's start with these ones. This is the Persona 3 manga. I am a new fan of Persona. I started back in 2018 when I played through Persona 5 for the first time. Got it for half off on the PlayStation Store. Loved it. I was in high school at the time. Basically, my life was get home from high school and spend the rest of the day playing Persona 5. So we've got, those are the first 3 volumes. Volume 4, Then we got 5. At the time that I bought them, they were all in stock except for 6, so we go straight to 7. I haven't even beat Persona 3 yet, because I played a little bit on an emulator. I still need to finish it. I'm going to finish it before I read these. Volume 8. Volume 9. So I can't really comment on anything else. But I will say that the art and the way they have the title and the different volume covers, very interesting. I like the artwork and the way they do that. And that's one thing I will say. I've read a little bit of Volume 1 of this next series, and I will say the artist does a very good job of recreating the art style from the Persona 4 game. I'm playing that right now, Golden. I haven't gotten past the first area. They're not called palaces in this one. That's Persona 5. But the first Shadow Creation saving Yukiko. And I will say that's one of the best things about this manga adaptation is that the art style was very, very good at recapturing like the art style of the original game. I'm pretty sure they're not, but I wouldn't be surprised if the guy who's doing the adaptation and the artwork like worked as a character designer or something, or had some involvement with it, because this is one of the best like looking manga adaptations of something. I think the best one is definitely the Neon Genesis Evangelion manga adaptation, because the person who did the art literally worked as a person on the character design. So let's get through the last few volumes. Here we got volume 7. I'm sad there's no solo cover for Chie. She's in some of the covers, but she doesn't get one all to herself. She gets 2 of the spines, I think, which is great. We got volume 12. No, 9. Excuse me. Wait. Yeah, 9. Uh-oh. There's a misprint. Uh-oh. I didn't even notice that. Look here on the back. It says volume 9. It says volume 7. Wow. I wonder how much I can sell this online for. Volume 10. Volume 11. For some reason, I thought I said 9 for a second. Because the Roman numerals are a bit weird. Then we've got volume 11. 12, excuse me. I don't know. There was no excuse for that one. Volume 13, the final volume. Again, I've only read volume 1 because I'm not far in the game. I want to play the game first because neither the manga nor the anime adaptation of any Persona game will ever beat just playing the game. But again, like I said, at least the artwork very closely matches the original artwork in the video game. Something that cannot completely be said about the Persona 5 manga. I love Persona 5. It's my favorite. One of my favorite games. I don't normally like turn-based RPGs, but Persona 5 and Undertale are the 2 that really got me to actually like a turn-based RPG. And while so far, after only reading Volume 1, because I'm still missing volumes, see, Volume 3 here, I still enjoy it. It's definitely fast-paced, so play the game over these, definitely. Like, unless you really can't afford a PlayStation 3 or a 4, and the game, then I don't recommend you read these first, unless you really can't play the game, because I highly recommend the game over it. But the artwork, it's good by itself, it's just not that great at imitating the original art style. And here, let me find a good example of that. My favorite, best girl, obviously, is Anne, and Takamaki. Gotta say, again, I like the guy's art, but in this extra art, I'll see if I can find a good picture of Anne from the game. She looks a bit off in the manga, is all I'm saying, at least in that extra. But I'm still gonna keep up with it just because I love Persona 5. At least so far, it doesn't seem as bad as the anime, which I was super excited for. And ironically, whenever the anime came out, it was like around the time of my birthday, or directly on my birthday when the first episode came out. And it just ended up being so lackluster. Made me really sad. Let me look that up. Persona 5. When was the first episode? April 8th. 2 days away from my 17th birthday. And it turned out to be shit. Ugh. Sucks. Alright. Next up we got... I just realized that I'm still talking too long. Next up we got The Girl with the Sanpaku Eyes. First 2 volumes were on sale, so I bought the first 2 volumes. And I have pre-ordered the 3rd volume. Really great, wholesome series. One of the few manga that I have that's actually in color, which is insane to think about, which I guess justifies the price point for it being so thin. But it also has pretty quality release. It has these annoying little flappies that I don't know what they're for, but they don't stick out too much like they do in the Persona manga. And there's these nice little comics on the inside flaps. Overall, I definitely recommend it if you like, wholesome slice of life romance stuff. And honestly, has more progression in it in these 2 volumes than a lot of series do, because at the very least it's been confirmed in both of the characters' heads that they like each other. So now they're just working on actually getting that out. I will say, you won't be able to tell because my quality's low quality, but this cover looks good. This cover looks a lot worse. Again, it's hard to tell unless you own a physical copy, unless I'm different. This one, Volume 2 cover, looks really terrible. It looks like a low-res scan rather than an actual illustration. Let me see if these two look any different to you. It's really bad, I'm sorry. But if you have one and you have that problem, you know what I mean. Let's get to this thing around my leg. Here we got the Full Metal Alchemist manga box set. It recently came back on stock on Right Stuff Anime, so I said, fuck it. Let's get it. I watched both animes before a while ago, so it's time to try the manga. Let's grab the volumes. We got Volume 1. I've read up to Volume 6 already, and I'm currently rewatching the anime in dub with my mom. She doesn't watch very much anime, but sometimes I'll watch it and she's around and she'll kind of listen to it too. So, I don't know. I didn't really ask her how she feels about it. We're on episode 9-ish. But here we got some covers. Not one of my favorite series. This is definitely a lot of people's favorite series. I definitely have series I like more, but it's still a great series. And I have to rewatch 2003 version, but I remember it being not that bad. I think it's worth a watch. I think it's the ultimate experience of this series is the manga. It always will be, because Brotherhood kind of rushes the introduction. And it just, overall, 2003 has a darker storyline from what I remember. So I think if you can read the manga, if you can't, or if you have read the manga and you haven't seen the anime, watch Brotherhood. Brotherhood's great. And then if you want something different, then I recommend the 2003 anime. It's a good time. And then obviously after 2003, definitely watch Conqueror of Shambhala. I feel like it's necessary from what I remember. But a lot of people like to shit on 2003. I don't think it's that bad. I think it has its merits. Plus it has 4 amazing OPs. The first one has good 2003 vibes, classic early 2000s vibes with the song, but then 2 and 3 are amazing, and then the 4th opening is just legendary. If you don't even plan on watching 2003, at least watch the openings. Good stuff. I'm running out of things to talk about while I show off these volumes. We got Volume 16, 17. I'll take this time to say now that I don't like Winry all that much. I think her character is fine, but I got to the... this has always been a pet peeve of mine, but Winry's definitely not best girl in the series. That crown belongs to your girl Riza Hawkeye. I will never not hate the fact that because Winry forgot a bolt in Edward's arm, and even though it's not the main reason he almost got killed, it's because he was being reckless. That was the reason. I get that. But I still think it's annoying how she didn't have to at least say sorry for it. She said sorry for it and felt bad, and then Edward got pressured into taking responsibility, and then Winry just hopped on it like an opportunistic vulture and never properly said sorry and never properly fessed up to a legitimate mistake she made. That always pissed me off. And that's part of the reason why I don't like her. And I it's not even that I don't think she's a useless or weak character. I think she's great as Edward and Alphonse's emotional rock and being a family for when they finish their quest, waiting for them back home. It's just that one thing, man. It gets me. Riza Hawkeye, best girl, followed by Olivia Mira Armstrong. And that definitely says some things about me and how I feel about strong women that would 100% dominate me. But we don't talk about that. Last 2 volumes, 26 and 27. Depending on how I feel by the end of the series, might get the Full Metal editions as well. But I generally prefer the original singles. One thing that's odd is that even though these are reprints, these are, let me check. When were they reprinted? November 2020. So pretty recent reprints. Still have these old V logos, which I've never seen before, which is something. One last volume. We got Full Metal Alchemist, The Ties That Bind, which isn't even the first light novel. I know they're not connected, but either way, I'm going to probably read this. I finally finished reading the first Can't Fear Your Own World novel. Also, old-ass Viz Fiction logo. I've never seen that in my life. Goddamn. But it's not a huge accomplishment to read one light novel. But I'm slowly getting there, and I plan on reading the Full Metal Alchemist one once I get finished, because that was included in the box set. And there's one more thing included, but I need to put this down somewhere. Hopefully that way it will not fall over and get damaged. Last thing in the box set was here, of course, the double-sided poster. Hiromu Arakawa. She's a great artist, 100%. I think she's a great artist. I'll probably check out her new series, Heroic Chair of Arslan. But it surprised me that Full Metal Alchemist was actually a monthly series, because sometimes the artwork makes me feel like it's not. Sometimes it feels like certain facial features are missing during certain panels, and I'd have to go through like some manga site to find them, so a big example of a recent time, because I think she still does that. I don't know in Arslan, but in volume 4, I'll put a picture on screen of the Full Metal edition of the manga. Riza has a cover, and it's great. I love Riza getting some love, but she kind of has no mouth, which is weird. It's whatever. She's still an amazing artist, and she's a great storyteller, obviously. Next thing we're actually going to get into figures next, because I've been buying more figures as of late, and I'm still waiting on 3 figures to come in by the end of the year. So first thing is plugging another series, Gentama. Here we've got a nice little Gintoki figure. Pretty cheap, like $30. Looks really nice. I really love it. This sword's kind of coming out of his hand. I don't know how that happened. Yeah. But I've got another Gintama related product that's not a figure, but I'm really excited to get that in, hopefully soon. Next up, let's do this smallest one. A Lady Tsunade figure. This was on sale along with the next figure I'm about to show. And Tsunade, probably my favorite character in Naruto. Love her. And as you can see, I've cleverly posed her up so that it looks like she's running towards you with her arms open for a hug, because I would want to give her a hug. Not even just because of the boobs, just because I think she's a great character, but also boobs. I love her. Last figure, this was also on sale, and it was also a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Here we've got a fucking Dio Brando figure. For comparison, here's the Gintoki one next to him. Very, very tall. Very beefy, tall boy. And they were about the same price, too, which is insane. Lady Tsunade, short stack compared to Dio. Not that a short stack would be bad. Wink, wink. Big boy. Doesn't come with a base for his feet. It came with this weird plastic thing, but it doesn't seem like he needs a base because he's big enough. But cool figure, nonetheless. Let's see. Let's get a really obscure series that not many people probably know of done next. We got Sgt Frog, volumes 1. We have 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. This is Tokyo Pop. They were on Right Stuff. All of these ones are on Right Stuff. I'm not missing one because they're out of stock, but I guess because they're out of print and they weren't listed at all. But Sgt Frog is an anime I watched as a youngin'. I watched however many episodes were English dubbed by Funimation, and they were on Netflix, and I loved it so much. And now that I'm much older than it was when that happened, I've picked up some of the volumes of the manga. I'm looking on eBay. It looks like I can get some pretty good deals on the volumes I'm missing, so I'll most likely do that. Probably not anytime soon, because I'm kind of hurting. I kind of destroyed my wallet over the last 2 months, so I should really give it a break. This one's nice and shiny. But it's a fun series. I definitely want to check out the anime. Again, I'm not going to listen to the dub. As much as I love Todd Habercorn as Sergeant Carrero, it'll be better to get used to the sub voices now for eventually when I have to switch over to them, because of the fact that Funimation stopped dubbing it last few volumes. 17, 18, and I'm surprised. Some of these are actually in really good condition. Some of them are really yellowed. It can probably be hard to tell because of the camera, obviously. 20, and then 21. But real quick, let me grab volume 1, because volume 1, I know for a fact, has the high quality paper. This is really high quality, sturdy book. Okay, this isn't even a little bit yellow. It is really white, and the paper is really thick. No bleeding whatsoever. It's gorgeous how high quality the pages are in this volume. One thing I do hate about it though is the table of contents. You probably can't see it because they're close to the spine. But let me try and get a look at it. No, you definitely can't tell. They use Roman numerals for the chapter numbers instead of regular numbers. So that's a bit annoying. Alright, let's get into... You know what, let's do this now. It's kind of going to be hard to do because they're in different places, but we'll make it work. Alright, so here we've got a bunch of volumes of Berserk. As you all know, unfortunately... The author of Berserk, Kentaro Miura, passed away very recently. Not very recently, it was back in May. And then that's when I decided it's finally time to stop procrastinating. I'm buying the rest of the manga that's physically available. I'm still missing volumes. I'm missing volume 24, 27, and 39. But I've got a whole bunch of volumes. Art looks amazing. I've already read 21, 22, and 23. I'm either going to, depending on how long it takes to get volume 24, I might read the digital version of 24, so I can just continue reading the manga. But I'd hopefully I don't have to do that. That's why I clearly have a lot of stuff to read while I wait for those to eventually appear. 28 and 29. Gorgeous looking covers though I have noticed that there's increasingly more white borders around the artwork. Not a bad thing, it's just something worth pointing out. Also, I think it started in volume 21, but they started adding these, like, this double-sided color page artwork at the beginning of the volumes, which I just gotta say I love. These look gorgeous. I'm definitely gonna start picking up the deluxe editions at some point in the future for collection purposes, just because they do look gorgeous. I was mostly getting these singles because not only are they cheaper, but also they're farther ahead, and also I like the look. I like how they look. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love the original singles. I don't know if I'm weird for that, but I love them. And at some point, I don't know when it happens either. I didn't spoil myself, thankfully, but I skimmed through some later volumes, and they started adding in character pages. A lot of manga has character pages at the beginning. Berserk never had one up until volume at least 23, because I haven't seen it even there. I don't know when they started this, but it's kind of neat how they do that. Yeah, not spoiling myself. What else we got? Last few volumes, 38, 40, because I'm missing 39. These volumes have gotten a lot thinner over the years. I'm sure there's enough chapters left that aren't in a tankobon to at least do 41. Because these are pretty thin, but we don't even know what the fate of Berserk is going to be in the future. Two last things that I got while I was on my impulse shopping spree for Berserk manga. We got the official guidebook that goes up to volume 38, so I'm not going to be able to read this yet because 38. I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger just because it's supposed to be like a showcase of some art, but I do like the art pages. There's multiple of them, I'm not going to show them all off. Last thing I got, Blu-ray for the Berserk Golden Age movies. If there was a way to get DVD or Blu-ray of the 97 anime at a good price, then I would 100% do it. But unfortunately, the only other Blu-ray for this series is the 2016-2017 anime. Not buying that. I'm sorry. I want a good Berserk anime, but not that one. There was also some Berserk figures on Right Stuff, but those are way too expensive, dude. I cannot afford those. Next up, real quick, Splatoon. No, wait, no. Gigantomachia. This is another one-volume thing that I bought during my Berserk kick, because it was more of a Kentaro Miura kick. This is a one-volume series he wrote. Amazing art as always. Interesting world and story. Lots of lolly-piss. I don't know how to feel about that, but it was a fun read. I recommend it if you like Kentaro Miura. Ugh. Now let's move these off. Don't be careful with them. You know what I mean. All right. next up, I guess we'll go with this now. Splatoon. I got the first volume of the manga. Looked interesting. I bought it with the Persona 5 manga. I've read it. It was fun. I don't think you'll like it if you don't really like Splatoon. Even though I do enjoy Splatoon 2, I've played some of it. Even this was kind of eh. I can definitely say it's rated for everyone. It's very fast-paced. Each chapter is a single turf war battle, and the comedy's kind of hit or miss. It's a fine enough time. It's definitely going to be way, way, way back on the back burner in terms of priority of buying manga, but it was an enjoyable time, you know? So it'll definitely be something I consider buying more of, for at least just having like a little bit of fun. It's a very like turn your brain off type of thing. Let's go with more turn your brain off type of things. I've got the 4th and 5th omnibuses for Neon Genesis Evangelion Shinji Ikari Raging Project, and volumes 16 and 17 as well. I haven't even finished the second omnibus, but I decided to pick these up because I started panicking when they started going out of stock. I don't know why, but I did. The third omnibus is still out of stock, which kind of sucks because even though I haven't kept up with it, I do kind of enjoy it. It's fun, and I'm also missing volume 18. These 2 volumes are the first 2 volumes I've ever bought. It was my first purchase on in-stock trades. It was kind of a weird experience because it was a weird experience overall. It wasn't bad because there was good prices, and yeah, it was good prices. That's pretty much it. So I'll probably do it with them again, but it's mostly just going to be if I can't find it anywhere else. That's because, I don't know, I'm just not used to it. Maybe I need to try some other time again, but either way. Next up, Spy Family, Volume 5, amazing series. I heard recently that it's confirmed it's getting an anime, which is going to be amazing, because this is such a great series. I've already read this volume. Good time. Great art. Amazing. It's so good. If you haven't seen it already, which you probably have seen it, keep up with it. Great series. Can't wait for the anime to come out. Speaking of confirmed animes, I've got Volume 5 of Chainsaw Man. As you can see, I'm in the middle of reading it. The trailer looked awesome. I'm really excited to see how the anime is going to go. Don't spoil me. I've only read up to this part of Volume 5, but I know that the manga's finished at 11 volumes. They could adapt the entire of... Because this is just part 1, up to Volume 11. They could adapt the entirety of part 1 in a 24, 25 episode anime. Because that's usually around how many volumes 25 episode anime is going to cover, is 12. Because usually it varies, but I think they could do it. I think they could do it, and I'm excited because the manga's already really cool. It's really good. I really love it. Power, best girl, no question. Himeno, very, very close second. Love her. Still a lot of mysteries going on. Again, don't spoil me. I don't know a lot of things, but Makima is very suspicious. She's up to something. Next up, Volume 22 of One Punch Man. Read this volume already. Great volume. I forget which it was. Oh no, because this is the rest of the Phoenix Man fight, and then there was stuff with Zombie Man and a My Mask, which was amazing. Volume 21, I believe it was, where most of it was a fight with Flashy Flash and some other ninjas, and then they teased you with the Phoenix Man fight at the end. I thought that was a meh volume. I didn't really care about Flashy Flash, but this volume was amazing. Great fights with Phoenix Man. Saitama got back in the mix. Love to see it. And then Zombie Man. Zombie Man was incredible this volume. I was not expecting him to be so cool. And then a My Mask. Something's up with that My Mask. I'm not going to spoil it, but great volume. Can't wait for Volume 23. It's very possible, even though Season 2 was very heavily criticized, that there will be a Season 3 at some point when there's more material. Who knows? Either way, I'm all for it. Next up, I can finally give my opinion on this. I got volumes 3 and 11 of Boruto. I pre-ordered 11. This finally came back in stock, so I've read up to volume 5. Still missing 6, unfortunately. So, depending on how fast I read through everything else that I've shown so far, I might go ahead and read that digitally so I can catch up to the manga to volume 11, because this series is not bad at all. I really enjoyed it. The end of the Momoshiki arc, the Mujina Bandits arc, all been really enjoyable. Not as bad as people saying it. realistically, it shouldn't exist, because even though it wasn't the best, Naruto had an ending. So it's clearly a cash grab, but for what it is, I still really enjoy it. I like the artwork a lot. The fights are great. I've also been watching the anime. I'm on episode like 34. Even though it's a lot of slice of life, filler, more like anime canon stuff, I still really enjoy it. And it was cool because I got to the end of what's her name? Class representative. I forget her name. Purple hair. Sumire. Kake Sumire. In the anime, she had this whole tragic backstory, and there was a whole arc revolved around her, and then seeing her again in the manga, because the manga takes place after graduation. The anime where I'm at right now is before graduation, and so seeing her again and her being like, "Oh, I remember you guys from the academy. It's been so long since I saw you." That's so cool, and I hope we get to see more of the classmates as the manga progresses, because as far as I know, they don't show up anymore. Like Denki or Iwabe, I hope we get to see more of them, because they're fun. Next up, Volume 4 of My Dress Up Darling, highly unrelated. Highly unrelated. Barely anyone talks about it. It's amazing. So good. Oh. Tanned Kitagawa Marin. Beautiful. I can't wait to see how it's animated, because there's so much beautiful art in this series. Even just ignoring the fan service. If the artist drew something with zero fan service, I would still love the hell out of it, because the artwork is just amazing. Let me find a really good example of just super gorgeous, detailed artwork. Oh, just look at this. Even though they don't use a background, just look how fucking good it doesn't do it justice. Find a way to read this on your own, whether it's a physical copy, look it up online. But what's the other's name? Shinichi Fukuda, incredible artist. Seriously, check them out. I'm excited to see the anime. Next up, Volume 4 and 5, Wave the House Husband. Great comedy series. I've already pre-ordered Volume 6. Can't wait to see more. I wonder how long this is going to go on, because it's definitely not gone stale yet, but I could see a series like this basically being one trick, and that is Yakuza man doing normal housework things. I could definitely see how it could get old in the long run, but who knows. We'll see where this goes. Either way, Kusuke Ono, the creator, I'm excited to see what they've got up their sleeve, and for this series or for any other series they do in the future, oh wow, this is the last volume, Volume 9 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable. Thick as fuck. This part of the spine doesn't even stick out a little bit like it usually does. It is flat up against here. This volume is thick as hell, baby. I was wrong. There are no more color pages in this. I thought there would be at least a few, because it's nearing the end of a part, but no. Unfortunately, none there. But it's really thick. I'm at Volume 5 right now in Part 4. Really excited to keep going. And I'm excited because they're going to start releasing Part 5. I've already pre-ordered the first 2 volumes of Part 5 manga, Golden Wind. First one comes out in August? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Really excited. Part 6 anime is going to be amazing. I'm going to react to that, baby. You already know I'm going to react to that. Even though I've read the manga, that was over a year ago, but I'm still going to read it, and I'll probably do manga comparisons. Just because, it's a fun thing to do. But that's surprisingly it. I did not realize it would be that quickly. But that's over 100 volumes. I don't know the exact number. I think it's around 110-ish. I'll have to recount and then get back to you later. But it's a lot of volumes. It's a lot of volumes. I went a little bit crazy. Don't expect anything too crazy as things go on. I've got pre-orders, and I've got back orders that are going to come in eventually. That's basically what the next one is probably going to be all about. I don't think there's anything going to be too crazy. I'm kind of running out of money. Don't know if I can buy anything during the Right Stuff birthday sale, but I'll see. You never know, especially with me. But that's pretty much all I had to say. That was the whole video. If you watched the end, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. Again, please, if you're watching this for Just a Manga Haul, I ask that you at least give some anime reactions a chance. If you don't even watch any of the ones because you don't care about any of the series I'm reacting to right now, feel free to leave suggestions in the comments below. I've only got 3 series in the rotation right now. I'm willing to put a 4th one in to replace Record of Ragnarok, and eventually I'll have to replace Haikyuu, but yeah. Peace.